afternoon, everyone. Donald J. Brower, GSHSW.com. We're at St. Metuchen High School in Metuchen, obviously. We are at the Garden State Wrestling Boys Prospect Camp, and I am joined by Princeton head coach Joe Dubuque. Coach, I saw you get to talk to some of the kids, ask some questions. What are you looking to see from some of these guys at this camp today?
Yeah, I think watching kids train is good. You get an insight into, again, how important is this to them? How do they take direction? Are they coachable? What's their work ethic like? Yeah, I think those are the biggest things when you come to things like this and you're watching kids train and take in new technique. How willing are they of kind of changing and evolving? And I think that's the things that we look for when we come to prospect camps like this.
Now, you're a top level program. What do you look for in an athlete? I've asked all the coaches this because obviously you want a wrestler who can perform. That's obvious.
Yeah.
What else do you look for? Somebody that you would like in a Princeton room?
Yeah, so the three things that we look for are tough, coachable competitors. And the toughness thing, it's not just physically tough, right? Just being a physically tough guy. It's really how resilient are they? Because you're going to have setbacks. You're going to deal with struggle. You're going to deal with adversity. And how are you able to deal with that? Right? Are you able to work through those things? Are you able to get better when times like that come? I don't want to question one of my guys whether, hey, if they get upset first round, second round, I don't want to question whether they're going to wrestle back hard, whether they're going to want to come back and take the next best thing, which is third place. So it really comes down to, again, how resilient are you? How mentally tough are you? On top of, obviously the physical toughness in wrestling. Then we get to coachable. Being coachable is probably the number one ingredient in regards to success on the Division I level, in my opinion. If you are able to take feedback and you're able to change things that you've always done, and you can trust in your coaches, I think that is going to set you up for success. I don't want to be butting heads with my athletes, and I want them to trust me. Now, I understand that a lot of the kids that we recruit, they've been successful, right? And it's hard to do some things when you've been so good for so long, but this is a different level, right? Division I wrestling is a different level. So you need to be able to say, hey, I have to evolve, right? And that means, listening to my coaches in just about every area, right? And I think, at Princeton, it's very, it's a mutual relationship, right? I want to take feedback from you. Obviously, I expect you to take feedback from me. So it's definitely a relationship that we build that kids can trust and then know that everything we say is going to be in their best interest. And then the last thing is competitor. And that's probably more from me individually. This is sort of my identity. I love competition. I dreamed about it. It was something that, obviously you like training and you like practice or whatever, but I was practicing to get to the mat, right? I knew what I was doing in the practice room was going to help me compete to my best ability. I dreamed about matches that came down to me and was in front of 25,000 people. And I think that really helped me manage nerves and manage the anxiety of competition. So I want guys who, again, are loving competition, right? They're not picking and choosing when they want to compete, when they, well, I don't feel good, I do feel good. And, well, this guy's ranked, here and he's ranked below me, I don't want any of that. I want a guy who's I want to go. It doesn't matter. I want to go and I want to be the guy. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. I'm focusing on those three areas. And I feel like we're getting guys that are hitting all three of those areas. And I think, it's showing now the progress where, 3 years ago, we were on a high, right? We had Pat Glory national champ. Quincy Monday was third. The year prior, they were both national finalists, and that was great. And I think that was a testament to the coaching staff and what we did together to improve the program. And now, we took a little bit of a dip, but I think we're kind of ramping back up for another big jump, right? It's like every year or every 5 years seems like Princeton University is making another big jump, and I think we're poised and ready to make another one.
Yeah, you guys got some really quality kids. We were talking about a few of them before, so you guys are on the upswing. You're a Jersey guy. You've obviously had success here, and I'm sort of the same era, a little bit more. What has been the biggest difference you've seen in these last 20, 25 years? Just the jump where New Jersey's gone from being a great historically state, now they're mentioned as one of the best in the country. What is that difference that you've seen, that you've been a part of, to where now it's like New Jersey's talked about as one of the top states all over?
I think a couple things. When I was wrestling, again, probably 25 years ago, I think we were known as one of the best states on our feet. We were very good from neutral. I think, we produced some of the best neutral wrestlers, athletic wrestlers. But now it seems like these kids are just well balanced, right? I think not only are they still very good on their feet, but they're good from the top position where they're turning and they're riding and they're winning important matches in the top position. And then also, again, I think, every high school kid still needs to be working on bottom. And I think that's an area that every incoming freshman probably struggles in. But definitely New Jersey has gotten better as a whole wrestler, and not just kind of identify as a neutral, a really good neutral wrestling state. And then the second thing is just the ability for these kids to watch technique and wrestling and high level wrestling. Like where, again, 25 years ago, you could go to a club. I went to the Edge Wrestling Club, and Ernie Monaco was putting in VHSs of Russian nationals, and that was the high level wrestling that we saw, which was great. But I mean, again, it's literally, we had to depend on a guy who's got a VHS of the Russian nationals from 1995. So now it's like literally they pick up their phone and they're scrolling on TikTok and they see, the Olympics, or they see this amazing technique session run by Jordan Burroughs or another elite wrestler. So the high level of wrestling that is at their fingertips is just unbelievable. And I think that's one of the main reasons not only New Jersey has taken a huge jump wrestling-wise, but just high school wrestling. I mean, these kids who are coming in as incoming freshmen are levels ahead of where I was as an incoming freshman.
And we put out a poll online about some questions. Obviously we were talking to you and some other coaches. You already said what you were looking for in an athlete. That was one of them. The other one was, what do you consider your greatest accomplishment? It could be you on the mat. It could be you as a coach. What do you consider the greatest accomplishment of your career?
So, all right, I'll give you two.
Okay.
I'll give you greatest accomplishment and accomplishment I'm most proud of, because I think those are kind of two different.
Okay.
The greatest accomplishment of my career was winning NCAAs my junior year. Even though I was pretty good coming out of high school, I kind of went through, again, some struggles. Was never really looked at as a contender, right? An NCAA title contender, except for my inner circle and the people who believed in me. So being able to win an NCAA title, the pinnacle of my sport, right? I wasn't, dreaming about Olympic titles. I was dreaming about NCAA titles, right? That was something that was important for me. So for me to do that was pretty amazing. And again, I think it was one of the, it's the greatest accomplishment of my life. Then the one I'm most proud of was a year prior to that. At the NCAA tournament, I was the 8th seed, and it was the first and only time that I actually got nervous to the point where I was, as people say, was froze out there. And I lost first round. And, you know, for me, coming back, you know, I was feeling sorry for myself and, you know, obviously very disappointed in the way that I competed. And my coaches talked to me and said, hey, like, you know, the work you put in, you know, coming back and coming to this point, you can't leave this tournament without anything. So, you know, it got me back in the right, you know, frame of mind. And then my next match, my first wrestleback match, I wound up tearing my ACL. So I tore my ACL. I didn't know it was torn, but I know I hurt my knee pretty significantly. And the reason why I'm most proud about this is that the year prior, I dealt with injuries, but I let the injuries almost kind of, you know, overcome me. And where I wasn't there being very tough. And I think, you know, it really kind of opened up some vulnerable just pieces of me that I needed to address. And didn't go to Big Tens, didn't go to Nationals my freshman year. And then I'm almost at the same point in the same situation where I have now a choice to make. I can either say, I could feel sorry for myself and say, hey, I got injured again. I'm just going to bow out. And that's just, you know, the hard times, and it is what it is. Feel sorry for myself. But my trainer came out and he understood the struggles and the adversity I was dealing with the year before. And he said, hey, he's like, you hurt your knee. He's like, but you can absolutely win not only this match, but you can come back and you could be an All-American. And I needed him to tell me that. And I was like, you're absolutely right. So I wound up winning that match, and I wound up winning 4 more matches to be an All-American, you know, on a torn ACL. And again, not only was I able to accomplish a goal that I set out for myself to be an All-American, but I also did it under circumstances that in the year prior I had quit. Right, I had quit when those circumstances come up. So again, there was a lot of things where, you know, I look back now and I'm super proud. And even at the moment I was proud, but it wasn't as like significant as it is right now, because that was a turning point for me. And I feel like if I didn't experience that, who knows what I'd be doing right now. I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. So.
Well, that seems to be the way it is, and I've noticed this covering especially New Jersey wrestling for the last couple of years. Anybody who's like a top seed or anything, there always seems to be, we call that wrestleback drop-off. And you always see it where guys maybe a 3rd or 4th seed, they get upset, and then all of a sudden they're out because they can't get their mind right. So be able to kind of fight back and win, that's a great lesson, you know, for everybody. I want to thank you for the time. I know you had a great speech. All the kids loved it. They asked some questions. They're a little nervous to talk to you. I saw they were hiding with the hands, but Coach, I really appreciate the time, and thank you for joining us today. You can watch the other coaches' videos we've done, but thank you, Coach Dubuque, and we really enjoy it. For GardenStateHSWrestling.com, Donald J. Brower.